My dear brothers and sisters, I am Dr. Halima Sadia, and I am an educationist by profession, but I am a compassionate learner. And I believe that our purpose of life is to learn till the last day, and the purpose of life is to reach out to the people. As far as this topic is concerned, so I find myself suitable for this because this was my dream project since I got married in 1988. And I found that my marriage was an example for the society, as the expenses of my marriage was just 4,000 rupees. So that day onwards, I thought that I am going to start preaching this type of marriage, and I am going to inspire and motivate the people that how this type of marriage is not only convenient, but blessed also. Because whatever the people expect in the marriage, after marriage, all those comforts I have gained within no time after the marriage. This 4,000 rupees expense was just to feed 11 people. 11 people means like my all the brothers of my husband and his father, those who came to my house. So this was the simplest nikah in my whole family, and credit goes to my father. And I'm not going to take credit to myself, because I don't think that it was at that time when I was just 18, I was mature enough to decide that what to be done and what not to be done in my marriage. But purely it was a decision of my father. And he was very adamant on this point that although he had 6 daughters, I was the second one. He clearly mentioned that I am going to give my daughter into the marriage of a person who's not going to take even a single spoon from me. उन्होंने उर्दू में ऐसे कहा था कि जो एक चमचा भी नहीं लेगा हमसे, मैं उसी के यहाँ अपनी बेटी की शादी करूंगा. तो it happened like this, that my husband's family, my father-in-law, may Allah grant him the highest place in Jannah, he was very religious and pious person. And he has the same philosophy of life. And he said that my sons are not going to take a single penny, and neither we are going to spend money on the marriage expenses, although they were very influential family in the whole society and in the locality. When they came to my house for the marriage, they brought just one simple dress, satin dress, red color satin dress. So there was lots of hue and cry and hangama among the ladies, that these people are so rich and what they have done, and this is a cloth they have brought for us, for the girl, and this type of things, many things they have spoken. And it was likely that I was also a little affected by those sayings, because all my khalas, mamanis, aunties, and these and those, everybody was like grumbling on the dress. But finally, when I came to my in-laws' house after the marriage, then I found that there were 2 big suitcases full of pretty dresses that my father-in-law, who used to be in Saudi Arabia, and he was a doctor. So most of them he brought from there, only from Saudi Arabia for me. And I was very happy to see that. But why they didn't send those clothes to my house? Just to avoid the show off, just to avoid that the entire family is going to see that, oh, how much they have brought for the girl and for the bride, and then everybody is going to say goody things about that. So they wanted to curb this habit. They wanted to avoid such type of show off in the nikah ceremony. And it was a very simple nikah. And I came back to my in-laws' house, and there for walima, they invited 600 people, while in my nikah, there were only 11 people. So since that time, I was thinking, let me get some platform where I can speak about simple nikah. But I was so busy in my professional life. I was so busy into my teaching and learning, being a principal in the administrative work. And I was so busy in all those affairs that I didn't get any chance. And sometimes I used to speak, but little bit, not much in elaboration. I'm thankful for this platform who have thought that this is the need of the hour, where we all have to speak frankly in front of everyone, and we have to speak on all the aspects of the marriage as per Islam. So I had studied Islamic studies in my Alamiyan and Fazilat, and I did my PhD in Quranic studies, Alhamdulillah. Again, credit goes to my father, and who has given me the Islamic knowledge. And then afterwards, I acquired my worldly knowledge, like I did my BA and MA and other things on my own. So Islam clearly says that how the nikah has to be, and what exactly is nikah, what is the legal aspect of nikah, what is the social aspect of nikah. So Alhamdulillah, now I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I'm going to discuss in details about simple way of nikah as per the Islamic norms and rules. See, as per Islam, in Islamic law, marriage or nikah is the correct word, but in a general term, we say marriage. It is a legal and social contract between boys and girls, between boy and girl. And social contract means that there has to be some terms and conditions from the boy, and there has to be some terms and conditions from the girl, and both have to be mutually agree on that, and then they are going to be in one relationship. That is called contract. So this is the this is as per Islam. Islam always emphasized to have pious relationship, and relationship outside the marriage is totally haram. That is illegal. And it's not that we are going to be at the extreme level, then only it's going to be haram when we are going to do some actions. But even before that, when some thought comes into our mind, from coming the thought into the minds and then thinking about that action and then talking in that term and then looking at the person with that intention, even all these activities are haram in Islam. So in Islam, Quran clearly says that you marry those who are the single men, they must marry among you, and the righteous. Even slaves also were allowed in those days, because when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was there was a system of selling and buying of the people. So that's why here it is clearly said that fankihul ayama minkum wasalihina min ibadakum wa imaikum in yakunu fuqara yughnillahu min fazli wallahu wasi'un alim. So it clearly says that fankihu, here the word which is used here is command, that one kehu means and you marry. Whenever Quran uses such type of terms where it gives some command, it means that is obligatory of the person, that you have to marry. That's why Quran says in the commanding term. It's not saying that you should marry. It's not saying that it's better that you marry. It's not saying that it is good for the society that marry. It clearly says that one kehu and you marry. Like this is command, like how it is said that aqimus salat, atu zakat, you establish prayer, you give zakat. So in the same term, in the same phrase, it is used one kehu and you marry. So this we have to clearly keep in our mind, because nowadays I have seen, especially among the young boys and girls, that their attitude towards marriage entirely changed. And they think that it is an additional responsibility on them. Why to indulge into this affair, the bond of marriage? They want to live out of the bond of marriage because they just want to enjoy their life without having the responsibility. Nauzbillah. So that is clearly haram in Islam. That is, there is no concept in Islam. We cannot even think. And please remember that if person is denying from the marriage, in most of the cases, I'm not saying that in all the cases, but in most of the cases, if the person is denying from the marriage, that clearly shows the person is fulfilling his desire outside the marriage. That's why the person is not ready to shoulder the responsibility of a family, to shoulder the responsibility of the children, to shoulder the responsibility of the relatives. That's why even boys or girls, I have seen both of them, they deny. They said, what is the need? We are earning, we are self-dependent, and we are today's girls. We don't want to marry, we don't want to be into this affair. So my dear brothers and sisters, Islam doesn't recognize such type of things. Islam clearly says that without marriage, this type of relationship is totally haram, totally banned. Then another place we can see that it's written, Lam nara lil mutahabbaini mislan nikah. Yani there is nothing like marriage for the two who love one another. If you really love a person, if you really express your love for the person, then you must marry. Believe me, my dear sisters, if somebody confesses or if somebody expresses the love to you and say that I love you and you are so pretty and you are beautiful and you are this and you are that, and when you ask for the marriage and he denies, that clearly says that that love is a fake love. That love is just a lust. That love is just to get closer to you. That love doesn't have any substance in it. Because if the person has substance in love, then naturally the person is going to have a pious relationship. And that pious relationship is that both of you have to be into the knot of marriage, and then both of you have to live together. So this is the first parameter of any person's love, to measure the person's love, that whether the love is genuine or not. So believe me, if anyone says that I love you, then the next step is, please marry. If you love, then marry. If you don't marry, it means you don't love. Because it is clearly said in Hadith that there is nothing like marriage for the two who love one another. If you love one another, then you marry. Otherwise, don't express the love. Don't say that you love someone. That is fake. That is not genuine at all. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, Ma bunya binam fil Islam ahabbu ilallah azza wa jalla min at-tazwij. That there is no foundation that has been built in Islam more loved by Allah except marriage. And marriage is the most loved one with Allah. If we talk about any foundation, so the most loved foundation for Allah is the marriage. Allah like the people, Allah love the couple who are into the knot of marriage, and then they are living together, having a close relationship of marriage. Now, let's move further and let's see what Islam says about marriage. It's written in the Quran that وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. The English translation is already written. So मैं थोड़ा सा इसको उर्दू में बताऊंगी, because do understand उर्दू में कुछ लोग यहाँ ज्यादा अच्छा समझ रहे हैं. और उसकी निशानियों में से है कि उसने तुमको पैदा किया तुम में से जोड़े. अल्लाह की निशानियों में से है कि अल्लाह ने तुम्हारे लिए तुम में से जोड़े पैदा किए. इसीलिए आपने बहुत बार ये डायलॉग सुना होगा कि जोड़े तो आसमानों में बनते हैं, क्योंकि अल्लाह ने हर एक का जोड़ा बनाया है. अब जो आगे बात आ रही है, दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. वी हैव टू पे ड्यू अटेंशन टुवर्ड्स दैट. जोड़े क्यों बनाए हैं, क्या जरूरत थी जोड़े बनाने की? तो उसका जवाब क्या आता है, लितस्कुनु इलैहा, ताकि तुम उनसे सुकून हासिल करो. तो फर्स्ट पर्पस ऑफ मैरिज इज सुकून हासिल करना. एंड देन फर्दर इट इज सेड वजअला बैनकुम मुअद्दतन व रहमा, और उसने तुम्हारे दरमियान बनाया मुअद्दत यानी कि प्यार मोहब्बत, लव, व रहमा और मर्सी. ये दो चीजें हैं फर्दर. एक तो मियाँ बीवी के दरमियान सुकून होना, यानी एक दूसरे से सुकून पाना, और फिर दोनों के दरमियान मोहब्बत और रहमत का होना. इन्ना फी ज़ालिका लायातिन लिक़ौमिन यतफ़क्करून, बेशक उसमें अल्लाह की निशानियां हैं उस कौम के लिए जो सूझबूझ रखती है, जो गौर व फिक्र करती है. So if the people are denying of this fact that even without marriage, you can live together and you can get satisfaction, you can get love, you can get mercy, you can be happy with each other without marriage, it means that that those people are not yatafakkarun. Those people are not the people who are talking in wise terms. वो गौर फिक्र करने वाले लोग नहीं हैं. Those are not the people who are thoughtful. ये क्या? These are foolish people, stupid people. Those who think that even without marriage also we can live together and we can get the benefit of sukoon, benefit of muadda, and benefit of rahma. Because whatever Quran says, the Quran is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator. And the one who has created us knows our psychology better than anyone else. So Allah knows better that what is best for us. That's why when Allah created Adam alayhi salam in Jannah, there was everything for Adam alayhi salam. There was no dearth of any blessings. There was no dearth of any food. Everything was there. There was no deficiency of any comfort in Jannah. But still Adam alayhi salam was feeling lonely. Adam alayhi salam was feeling incomplete. Adam alayhi salam was feeling sad. And that's why Allah created Hawa out of Adam alayhi salam. So that letaskunu ilayha. This is the purpose. Why Allah Ta'ala created Hawa when Adam alayhi salam was living in Jannah? Letaskunu, so that they can get sukoon with each other. And then they love each other. Then their life in Jannah was happily going on. Then they feel that they are complete with each other. And then further, the Quran says that hunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahunna. So we have learned so far 3 words for marriage, like what we gain out of the marriage, out of nikah. 1 word is sukoon, the other word is muadda, third word is rahma in the term of Quran. Now, if we talk, this is the another thing, another term, that is hunna libasun lakum. वो आपके लिए लिबास हैं, व अंतुम लिबासुन लहुन्ना, and आप उनके लिए लिबास हैं. This is for boys and girls, those who are going to be in marriage. दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए लिबास हैं. लिबास का मतलब होता है the cloth, the dress, the attire which we wear. So what is the purpose of our cloth? First of all, our protection, the protection of the body. So this marriage protects us. We are protector of husbands, and husbands are protector of wives, because we are like libas. So we have to be protector, and then we have to add the beauty. Like wife adds the beauty for the husband, and husband adds the beauty to the personality of wife. That is the purpose of libas. That's why Allah says that libas is, you are libas for them and they are libas for you. This is the second purpose of libas. The third purpose of libas is that it covers us. Whether inside your body, whatever you have any wound, you have any mark, you have any deficiency, you have anything, everything is covered by your dress, by your libas. So it means husband and wife both are libas for each other, and they cover each other's deficiencies, each other's weaknesses, each other's problems, and they cover them up, and they provide protection to each other, and they add the beauty to each other's personality. So this is the another purpose of marriage, what Islam speaks about marriage. Now, after looking all this, there are so many ayats and there are so many ahadiths, but I have not taken much of them, because we have only I think 2 hours time, and within those 2 hours I have to complete my entire workshop. So these actually topics requires lots of sessions. It's not possible in one session. So that's why I have only collected those many ayahs about the marriage. Now, once it is done, let's come to this fact that our mind is now ready to go for the marriage. Whether I am a earning lady, whether I am a professional lady, whether I am a not professional lady, whether I am a single child, or whether I am having many siblings. But now by this time, my mind is ready that yes, whatever relationship I am having so far is all illegal, is all haram, whether it is just for the talking, whether just it is for the having fun, or whether just it is for going out or hanging out, all these are haram. So now I have to go for the legal relationship. I have to go for the pious relationship. I have to go for the halal relationship, and that halal relationship is marriage. So once we decided, our mind is made up for that, then what we have to do, we have to now select a suitable person. Naturally, the girls have to select suitable boys, and boys have to select suitable girls. Now, again, in this aspect, we have found that there are so many rituals, so many misunderstandings, and so many bidah happening in our society. First of all, we have seen that the people, especially the mothers of boys, they have made it a habit of going and seeing the girls and rejecting them. Not only once, twice, thrice. I don't know how many girls they go, they see, they have feast, they enjoy everything, and they come back and they reject. This is totally not allowed. This is very, very bad. You just have some empathy with that girl who is always being presented in front of the ladies, and then she has been like everything is like being scrutinized for her. Everything they are going to check them, they interview them, and what psychological trauma she is facing. Like naturally, it's very bad for any girl, I must say. So we have to be very sensitive whenever we are going to select any girl or any boy. It is said that iyakum wa tazwijul humaka, avoid marrying stupid and silly insane ones. तो सबसे पहले हमें ये देखना है, we have to see that we are not going to marry any insane person. We are not going to marry any stupid person. Why it is said? Because, you know, after marriage, when a husband and wife, they meet each other, and when they are planning for the new generation, so the gene of a father and of a mother, it comes into the child. So that's why if the mother is intelligent, if the father is intelligent, both are sensible, both have good qualities, then naturally the children are going to be of that characteristics. Then it is also said that see what you are putting around your neck. Like if you are going to marry any girl, or if you are going to marry any boy, then naturally we have to be very careful, because we are going to be with them throughout our life. It's not like a dress that today I'm going to have Zara, and tomorrow I am going to have some other brand, and then we are going to change the brands. It's not changing the brands. It's like we are going to make a decision for our whole life, and the decision has to be very wise decision, and for that we have to spend a maximum time, and then spend, along with the spending times, we have to make duas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always. Although the girls sometimes they feel shy in asking for a good bride, for a pious groom, but there is nothing to be shy in this. बल्कि ये एडवाइजेबल है कि आप जैसे ही शादी की उम्र हो आपकी, आप अपनी दुआओं में इसका खास तौर से एहतमाम करें. आप खास तौर से दुआ मांगे कि अल्लाह हमारे लिए एक बहुत ही मुनासिब, नेक, साले और एक हर एतबार से जो समझदार लड़का हो, वो हमारे लिए आप हमारे नसीब में लिख दें, और हमारी उसकी तरफ रहनुमाई भी कर दें कि whosoever is for me. सो इस तरह की दुआएं करना ये एडवाइजेबल है सारी बहनों के लिए, जिस किसी की भी शादी की उम्र हो गई है, कि वो नमाज में ऐसी दुआएं जरूर मांगा करें, क्योंकि ये जो भी हम करने जा रहे हैं, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अराउंड आवर नेक फॉर द होल लाइफ. It's not advisable to do the things in hurry burry, and then you are not going to see properly, and then afterwards you realize that I made a mistake, and then those things are happening in the family, and then separation and divorce and all those things are very, very unadvisable things. So we have to avoid those things. We have to be very careful in the selection. Now, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that a man who marries a woman for the sake of her wealth, so Allah leaves him in his own condition. And the one who marries her only for her beauty, he will find in her things which he dislikes. And the one who marries her for the sake of her faith, Allah will gather up all these things for him. So whenever we are going to select our partner, whenever we are going to select our spouse, we have to see that first of all, the person has to be of our belief, our faith. This is the foremost important thing. And then secondly, how is the character of the person that we have to see. We have to marry for his neki, for his pakbazi, for his piousness, for his strong character. And then all other things like looking at the wealth, looking at the beauty, looking at the smartness, and all those things are secondary things. Nowadays, one more thing has happened, that our boys and girls, they are indulged into love affairs and likings of the people of other faith. That is very, very dangerous. Not only, I'm not talking in terms of love jihad or other things, but as per our religion also, this is very dangerous. You'll say that how it is dangerous. We are going to ask them to be on our faith. But if the person is going to be on our faith just for the sake of marriage, that also is questionable, because the changing of the faith or reverting towards another religion just for the sake of marriage, the junoon of marriage will last only for few years or maybe for few months. But if the person has to revert, the person has to first study well, the person has to be convinced by his mind, by his heart, by his soul, and then only the person has to revert. This is not the way of marrying and reverting. If it was a good practice in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time, we have not found any such example where they have married the person just for the sake of reverting them. So this example is not found. It is just opposite at that time. Like first the people used to revert, and then they used to be given into the marriage of some pious people, some good people, so that they can be adjusted properly in the society. So marrying out of the faith, the mothers have to be very careful while they are raising their children, that which type of relationship their children have with the boys and girls. And first of all, the relationship of any sort is not allowed, it is haram. And secondly, even if they have to have some friendship, so that in future they have planned that they are going to marry, we all have to ensure that there are so many girls in our own faith, those who are just waiting for the proper matches, proper partners, they are not getting. So then why are we going here and there and getting those type of troublesome things? So we have to avoid those things. So normally people marry the girl for the beauty, because first and foremost thing, and then secondly they marry for the wealth, then thirdly they marry for the caste, that the girl has which type of status in the society, and then they marry for the faith. So out of these four, if we have to prioritize, we have to give the first and foremost importance to the character and the faith of the person. It clearly says that al-khabisatu lil-khabisina wal-khabisuna lil-khabisate. Wat-tayyibatu lit-tayyibina wat-tayyibuna lit-tayyibate. Yani the person who is khabis means the bad character person. So the bad character girls are for bad character boys, and bad character boys are for bad character girls. And wat-tayyibatu, and good character girls are for good character boys, and good character boys are for good character girls. Now tell me, where this formula we are applying? Nowhere. When we go and look for the match, we hardly find out that what is the character of the person. If the boys have many affairs before marriage, it's not considered as demerit. They proudly said that, okay, boys are there, boys can do anything, whatever they like. During college time, they all do that. If they all do that during college time, then it is clearly said, well, khabisuna lil khabisat. If they are having bad character, let them marry with the bad character girls. Why a good character and pious girl is going to be given to the marriage of such person? This is the criteria given by our Islam, that we all have to look at the character of the person before marriage. What happens if the girl is very pious, if the girl is very religious, if the girl is on the faith, if the girl is practicing Muslim, and then we are giving them just to look at the boy's job or boy's earnings or the boy's status in the society, and we give the girl to the marriage of that boy, then she feels suffocated in that family where faith is not being practiced, where the people are not practicing Muslims. So we have to look at this first, that if a girl is a pious girl, then she should be given in the marriage of the pious boy. And if the boy is bad character, let him marry to the bad character girl. The same thing is here. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, this is the hadith, and mentioned in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, in both the authentic hadith book, and it is narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. So clearly Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that women are married for 4 things: le maleha, for her wealth; wale hasabeha, and for her caste; wa jamaleha, and for her beauty; wale deeneha, and for her faith. First, for bizat deen, so you prefer the girl with deen, the one who is on the faith, the one who is practicing. We have to prefer that girl. It is clearly given here by Islam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam hadith is there. Okay, so now this stage of selection, that okay, now we have selected very, very carefully, we have selected a boy now. Okay, so this second stage is also over. Now, since I have already told you that in Islam, meeting with the boys, having affairs with the boys, all these are totally haram. It's not possible. Then what is permissible? That question is there. So for that, there is a hadith that's again narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, and he said that he was in the company of Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam when there came a man and informed him that he had contracted to marry a woman of the Ansar. Thereupon Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, did you cast a glance at her? He said, no. Then he said, go and cast a glance at her. It means that before marriage, it is advisable, because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the person to go and look at the girl. So it is advisable for the boy and for the girls, for the boys and for the girls, to see each other, to look at each other in the presence of the guardians, and to talk to each other. This is permissible, not only permissible, but it is advisable. So that after marriage, since we know that this marriage is going to be for our whole life, so after marriage, there should not be a great surprise waiting for boys and girls. So they have to look at each other before marriage. It is permissible. They can even talk. They can even read their minds. That's also permissible. But nowadays, in some cases, I have found that taking the advantage of this permission or this advice, the people, they spend time, like they live together for weeks, for months, and just saying that, okay, we are just trying to know each other so that when we are going to marry, there won't be any problem. So that's not allowed. That's not permissible at all. What is permissible? It is clearly written in Hadith. I am not going to say anything on my own. Whatever Quran says, whatever Hadith says, I am just going to narrate those things in front of you. It clearly says that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, go and cast a glance at that girl. Just look at that girl. So before marriage. Now the legal aspect of the Islamic marriage. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that Min sunnati at-tazwij faman raghiba an sunnati falaysa minni. Like the marriage is from the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and whosoever turns away from my sunnah, he is not among us. It means he is not from a Muslim, among the Muslims. So here by this hadith, we can say that it is saying that it is sunnah. So some people, they say that it's not first, it is sunnah. So it's not obligatory for us to marry. So here we have to make it very clear that nikah is mandatory or obligatory for those who have the fear of committing any sin, like those who don't have the control over their emotions. So in that case, it is obligatory for them that if they are going to commit any sin, naturally they are going to be responsible for that. And even Prophet Muhammad SAW advised one person who said that I want to marry the girl, but I don't have the means. Because, you know, in Islam, whatever expenses is going to happen, that's going to happen from the boy. The boy has to set a house. The boy has to give the meher. The boy has to arrange everything. So that's why that Sahabi said that, oh Allah, oh Messenger of Allah, I don't have the means, but I want to marry. Then Prophet Muhammad SAW said that, okay, in that case, you keep fast. Like fasting is going to reduce the desire of the marriage. So that's why if you don't have the means, you keep fasting so that you can reduce that desire. Now, in the marriage also, there are traditions in our families, in some families, that we don't ask the girls. The father, he thinks that he is wali, he is the guardian, and he has full right to select the boy and to give the girl into the marriage of that boy. So here I am narrating one hadith where it is clearly said that the girl's consent is mandatory. We have to take the girl's consent before finalizing the marriage, before giving the girl into the marriage of any boy. And the father, as a guardian, cannot deny this consent. Hazrat Aisha Radhiyallahu Anha said that there are girls who are very shy. They feel shy and they don't utter the word. Then Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam replied that in that case, if the girl is silent, it means her silence is her consent. But if the girl is saying that I don't want to marry this particular boy or this particular man, and still I have seen the cases where forcefully the father or the family members, they just go ahead and they complete the marriage ceremony. So this is not at all accepted as per the Islamic instructions. So the girl's consent is important. In many cases, in many dramas or in many stories, you must have seen the girls got the opportunity at the last hour when the people came for her consent. Then that time she said, no, I don't want to marry. And then there was no choice for the father or for the family members to force the girl. And then the marriage did not happen. The marriage was not complete. So why to go to that extent? It's better that first when you select any boy, or if there is any proposal from anyone, then discuss with the girl. And Islam says that there is no haya in this. There is no, the Islam always encourages that we have to speak these aspects or these matters with our children, with our spouses, frankly. That is very important. Now, if we talk about the social aspect of marriage, so I have already mentioned before that it is a social contract between the boy and the girl. And one thing which we have totally forgotten in this is that the conditions, the right of conditions putting at the time of nikah. And those conditions can be from the girls or the boys, from both the sides. And if mutually both of them agree to that conditions, then they have to follow those conditions that will be a part of their contract. Like one example, I remember from the life of our Sahabiyat. She was the sister of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. At the time of marriage, in the contract, it was written that she is going to live with the brothers in the house. And then husband will come to that house only to live with the wife. So this contract was like agreed upon by the husband. And then only throughout the life, she lived with Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. So this type of freedom was given at the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to the girls, that they can have any condition. And if before marriage it is accepted and the contract has been made, then throughout the life they all have to follow this. But now we have just forgotten this condition thing. Nobody remembers this fact, and nobody even mentioned this fact, and nobody is going to say anything about this. The boys or the male partners before marriage, they promise so many things. I will do that, I will do that, and I will give you this, and I will give you that. And then after marriage, everything is null and void. Nothing is remembered by them, and they don't keep their promises. So just keeping promise is not going to help us. What we have to do is, if we really want to have some conditions, like mostly I have seen the girls facing for the job, like they want to pursue their career, they want to go for the job, they want to do something from even house also, but they are forced not to do. So in that cases, it is always advisable that at the time of marriage, if we are going to have some contract, that the girl will be allowed to study further, the girl will be allowed to pursue any career, the girl will be allowed to have to do some job with the limit of Sharia. Then if this is mentioned in the contract, then nobody is going to deny this after marriage. So it is said that Nikah completes our half Iman. You know, after Nikah, the people, they don't look here and there, their desires are fulfilled, and they are more focused about their career, the more focused about their deen, more focused about their responsibilities. And this is not only for the boys, but it is for the girls also. From both the sides, Nikah completes our Iman. There was an example that there were many men who were just supposed to offer their prayer with Jamaat. Then the question was that who is going to lead the Jamaat? Then there was a traveler in the group. Then naturally traveler cannot lead the Jamaat. He cannot be Imam. Then there was a person who was living without wife. And then there was a person who was living with the wife, but he was the driver among the group. But he was asked to lead the prayer, that since you are living with your wife, so it is considered that your character or your piety is higher than anyone else, than the person who is not living with the wife. Then he was asked to lead the prayer. It means that if we are into the into marriage and we are living with our husbands or the wives, then in that case our Iman is complete, and there is less chances of looking here and there and going here and there. For the marriage, meher is mandatory. Without meher, marriage cannot be complete. But what should be given in the meher, that depends on the status and financial condition of the boy. During the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there is an example of even giving one iron ring, that was also as a meher. There is an example of only freeing the captive, that freedom was given as meher. And there is an example of giving some amount, some gold, some silver. So it all depends on the financial status of the boy, that how much the boy can afford to give. Now, what is happening here in our society nowadays, especially in my society, where I see that the people, they just keep the meher very, very high. And they announce very loudly in the marriage, saying that as if that they are going to boast about this, that yes, I'm going to give 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, and this much gold and that much gold. But they are not paying it. The intention is not of paying. So if the intention is not paying, then it means that it is illegal. The meher's intention has to be, first of all, that you have to pay it. And it is better that we have to always keep mehre muajjal, means the meher which we can pay then and there at the time of nikah. So we should keep the meher which is within the reach of the boy, and the boy should always pay meher then and there. And if in some cases, if that day he cannot pay, then sooner the better. Whenever he can afford to pay that amount, it has to be paid. In some cases, the people are giving the land to the wives, giving the land to the wife of no use, because the wife cannot sell it, the wife cannot cultivate it, the wife cannot make the use of that. If it is given to the wife, then full freedom should be given, that she can do whatever she likes from that land. But normally in the practice it happens that the wife cannot do anything. It is just for the sake of name, that okay, this much piece of land I have given to you. So that we have to be careful about this. And we have to highlight this aspect of Islam, because this aspect is very unique with Islam. No other tradition highlights this aspect, that women are given so much importance in Islam, that women need not to pay a single penny. Instead, the man has to arrange the house, the man has to give the meher, the man has to afford everything. Now, very briefly, now I'll go, because, I think that there are so many aspects to be covered, and we are, it's already 2:30. So now I'm going to be a little brief in explaining the points. So now, celebrating the marriage. Oh my God, what madness is happening nowadays in the marriage. Only God knows where this madness is going to stop. I am personally fed up of all these things. That so many expenses, so many decorations, so many lights, and so many exaggeration of everything. This is really, really against Islamic principles. Islam always wants to do the things in moderate way, and simplicity is the beauty of Islam. So again, I am quoting one hadith that Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu anha reports that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the nikah with the most barakah is the nikah wherein the least expense was incurred. Now, please tell me, how many of us can claim that in our nikah, the least expense incurred? Minimum, which cannot be even avoided. If it is so, that nikah is the most blessed nikah. And if we are following the traditions of other religions, other people, other faith, then naturally we are not going to gain any benefit what Islam promised for the believers. Then we cannot claim that we are the believers, and why we are not getting antumul alana in kuntum muslim mu'minin. Why we are not alone, why we are not superior, why we are not victorious? Because we are following the traditions of other faith. We are not following the tradition of our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where it is said, during the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, people used to do nikah, and then used to come and sit in the mahfil, and Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to ask that, okay, why this shirt is yellow, saffron color? Then the Sahaba informed that, okay, yesterday I did my nikah. Just imagine, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is there. He is the most important person. Even he was not invited, and they did their nikah in simplicity, because of the simplicity, because of the less expenses. So now, why are we worried to have 600 people and 2,000 people and 5,000 people and 10,000 people and having feasting and all those things? This is really against Islamic spirit. Now, walima has to be done, that we have to keep in mind, and that also has to be done as per our limitations, as per our capacity. There also we have to avoid show off, but maximum people we can invite with a simple food we can serve, but with more number of people. That is the spirit of Islam. Now, nowadays, when the marriage, we talk about the marriage, what is happening? Theme wedding is happening. Okay. Now, feasting 250 types of items. I attended one marriage, not of our faith, but other faith. There I found 250 items were there. 250 variety of food. Then decoration. Then wedding dress. Again, the wedding dress is madness. People are spending lakhs and lakhs of rupees on the wedding dress. That to wear only one day, that's the time of marriage. Then show off. Then orchestra, then dowry. Dowry has like broken the hearts of hundreds and thousands of girls, because of dowry. I know in some parts of Bihar and UP, because I'm closer to these states, I know there are girls sitting at home waiting for their spouses, waiting for their partners, but they are not able to provide their expected dowries. And that's why nobody is ready to take them into their nikah. This is the worst thing in our society that we are following. And the mothers of the boys, please listen carefully, that if you are asking dowry, it means that you don't have faith in your own boy, you don't have trust in your boy that he's going to earn, and he's going to build the house for himself, and he is going to arrange the things for himself and for the girl also. It clearly shows that the boys are nikamma, they are useless, they cannot do. That's why they are depending on dowries. They are the beggars, they are asking from the girls. And then why they are doing all these things, I have found, because I did little research in this when I was asked to take this session. So then I found, I have discussed with some girls, I found that nowadays, because of social media, they are following the celebrities. And they are thinking, okay, Anushka's marriage, this happened, Karina's marriage, that happened, and this celebrity did this, and that celebrity did this, did that. Are they our role models? This is all again very unfortunate that our Muslim girls are forgetting our real role models. Hazrat Aisha, Hazrat Khadija, Hazrat Khansa, Hazrat Shifa, Hazrat Hafsa, Hazrat Zainab. They are our role models. Instead of following them, we are following the celebrities. We are just following social media. And because of that, all sorts of nonsense are happening in our society that these are against Islamic spirit. Now the relationship of husband and wife, as we all know, the purpose of nikah is to get comfort with each other. So first of all, if there is no comfort with husband and wife, then it means that we are not fulfilling the purpose of nikah. Because this Saturn, I remember when I was in grade 10th, I was given one drama. In cultural activities, we all have to take part. So the drama was that there was a meeting of shaitan, and many people were made shaitan. I was also made one of the shaitan. And then shaitan, bigger shaitan was sitting, like Iblis was sitting, and he was taking the meeting and asking them that, what have you done today to provoke the human being, and whom you have misguided, and how you have misguided, all types of things. So they all narrated that today I did that. One person was going for prayer, I have misguided him, and then he came back, he didn't go for prayer. Then one person, I indulged him into fighting and all sorts of things. And I was given the responsibility that I was the shaitan who tried to break the relationship of husband and wife. And then he just tried to bring some conflict between them so that they can fight. And they really fought. So when I narrated this to Iblis, the one who was Sardar, then the Iblis comes, and then Iblis appreciates and then says, okay, this is the bigger thing. This is the bigger achievement, that if you are able to bring conflict into the family between husband and wife, if you are able to make them fight among themselves, so this is the greatest achievement. And then it was highlighted that how relationship of husband and wife is important. And if we are indulging into fighting, it means that we are following shaitan, we are not following Quran. So because shaitan is the most happiest person when he sees such type of things happening in the family. And when husband wife they fight, it's not just fighting between them, it's going to destroy the entire family and entire new generation. Now, what are the rights of the wife? Because most of the time we have seen that we always talk, "Ke aapne mere liye kya kiya?" This is a pet dialogue of the wives. In most of the cases I have seen, everything will be done, and when there is small conflicts happening among a wife and husbands, the wife will simply say, "Aapne kya kiya mere liye?" So it's very clear. It's very important to know that what a husband has to do with the wife. Then only we should say that whether husband has done those things or not. Prophet Muhammad said that the entire world is a provision, and the most beautiful and the most object of benefit of this world is a woman. Like, we are so important, my dear sisters. We are the most beautiful thing of this world, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said. But for that, we have a condition. He said that Imratun Saleha, it means a pious woman, a woman whose character is strong, a woman who limits herself within the boundary of Sharia, within the boundary of Islam. That woman is a beauty, not the woman who is just not following the Sharia. So if we are so beautiful, we should understand our importance, and we should understand that what exactly are our rights and what are the obligations of our husbands. See, when we are tying the knot of Nikah, it means that we have to keep in mind that her husband is going to protect us. Husband is going to uh, give us husband is going to provide us food, shelter, and then husband is going to have the responsibility of all these things. Our physical needs, the husband is going to fulfill. But at the same time, what is our responsibility? That we have to protect husband's house, husband's bed, and we have to protect and take care of the entire family. That is our responsibility that we have to ensure. I was watching one drama. I don't know whether it was Pakistani drama or Indian drama. There I found that the mother of the boy was very keen that the boy should go to Dubai for job. And boy, when he came to India or the native place, wherever, he married a girl, and then he didn't want to leave the girl and go. That was his intention. So he wanted to be there. But the mother was very greedy type of lady, and she wanted more money, more money. So that's why he told the daughter-in-law, the newly married girl, see, don't allow your husband to come near to you unless he agrees that he will go to Dubai. Just imagine, a mother, a mother is giving this idea to a newlywed girl that don't allow your husband to come to you. How bad it is. It is just against Islam. Islam says that a woman who is sleeping away from the if a girl sleeping away from the husband the whole night, the angels, they curse that girl, because it is the right of husband to come near to the girl. This is the right of the husband, and that a wife has to fulfill. The wife cannot deny this. That we have to keep in mind. And then similarly, what husband has to do, husbands also have to ensure that since the girl has come from another house, the girls requires more comfort, the girls requires more love, more attention, and the girl has to be given due comfort in the new family. So that is the responsibility of husband, that he has to fulfill. And then the husband has to fulfill the desire of the girl wherever the girls requires, as wherever the husband requires, the wife has to fulfill the requirements. In our families, it is considered mostly that it is the desire of only men, and women are neglected. So that we have to keep in mind that the desire is among the men and among the women for both, and both have to take special care of this. And this is the thing where a wife wants that a husband should be fully faithful to him, and husband wants the wife should be fully faithful to him. So both of them have to take equal care of this. There should not be any discrimination on the basis of sex, that men can do whatever affairs he wants, and the lady is not allowed to do anything outside the marriage. If it is illegal, if it is not allowed, it is not allowed for both of them. That we have to keep in mind. Now, after that, one thing which happens in our family is that the husband, he's not ready to spend money for the family, like for the wife, and he gives very little money to the wife, and that is not fulfilling the need of the wife. That is also being seen. So Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that the penny that you spend on your family is the best penny. So first of all, we have to fulfill the needs of our family members, and in that, the first and foremost responsibility of our husband is for the wife. that you have to fulfill the needs of the wife, not the greed. I'm talking about the need. The need of the wife has to be fulfilled. The proper maintenance and sustenance of the wife should be given as per the financial status of the man, not the status of the women. Because in some families I have found that they ask that as per the girl, and they say okay, my daughter was living in my house with so many facilities, and the same should be given into the in-laws house. So this demand is not logical, because we have to look at the financial status of the boy. Whatever boy can afford, within that the boy has to provide all the basic needs of a girl. And then after that, first he has to provide all the basic needs of the girl, the wife, and then after that he has to take care of the children, and then he has to take care of his parents. So in this way, this is the sole responsibility of husband. Now the question arises, when a wife earns, then how it has to be managed. So believe me that there is mutual understanding among the boys and the girls, and both of them have to combine their income, and then both have to spend on the family. In some cases what happened, that the girls, when they are earning the money, either they spend fully on the family, or otherwise they keep those money for themselves, and either they help their own family members, like their own siblings, their own parents, or otherwise they bluntly said that it is your responsibility to manage the house. You manage the house, my money is for me. But if this is the thinking of a girl, that my money is me, then it means your time is for your husband. Then you should have given full time to the family, full time to the husband. You have taken the time from the family and from the husband, and then you have worked outside, or maybe from home only, you have worked for someone else and you have got the money. Then it means we have to spend the money for the family also. This is logical, that we have to talk in the terms of logical. We have the example of many sahabiyat, like the female of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's time. There they were supporting the family. Like I remember the story of Hazrat Zainab Raziyallahu Anha. She used to go to the market, to the jungle, and there she used to collect the seeds of dates. And then she used to go to the market and sell it and bring money. And then she used to have the buy the food stuff for the family, for the house, because the husband was fully busy into dawa work. He was fully dedicated for the Islamic work. So in this way, there are lots of examples during the time of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where the Sahabiya used to earn money, and they used to spend on the family, they used to spend on the charity, they used to spend on sadaqah, and whatever they like, they used to do it. So this type of fighting among the family, that if the girl is earning, that is for the girl, and she will not spend on the family. So this is not logical at all, that we have to keep in mind. Now, one more habit we have found in our society is that the husband-wife relationship, the people, they talk among themselves very frankly. Like if I have close friend, I will speak about my husband everything. And if the boy has any close friend, then they will speak about frankly about everything. So Islam has prohibited this, and it is said that it is the worst thing a man can do. That whatever he does with the wife, he goes out and he discusses with the friends. This we have to curb the habit if it is happening in our families. That we have to keep in mind, that we should never discuss such type of things, because these are very secrecy. That's why Quran says that hunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahunna. Both are libas for each other. We are providing covering to each other, so we have to avoid such type of things. Now, husband's right and the wife's obligation. Here, Abu Hurairah Radhiyallahu anhu, it is narrated with Abu Hurairah Radhiyallahu anhu, that when a woman spends the night away from the bed of her husband, the angels curse her until morning. This hadith has been narrated through the same chain of transmitters with a slight variation. He said, until she comes back. So this, I have already mentioned, I have already explained this in detail before. So my dear sisters, that we have to keep in mind. Now, what are the rights of the relatives? There is also a misconception in the family that when boy and girl both are married, they think that they are only for each other, and they are going to form a family, and they are going to raise their children, and they totally forget their in-laws. They totally forget their mothers and fathers. So this is not the fact. It is Quran clearly says that Ya ayyuhan nasu ttaqu rabbakum allazi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida wa khalaqa minha zawjaha wa bassa minhuma rijalan kaseera wa nisa wattaqullaha allazi tasaaluna bihi wal arham innallaha kana alaykum raqiba. यानी ऐ वो लोगों जो तकवा रखते हैं, जो अपने रब से डरते हैं, उसने एक नफ्स से पैदा किया है तुम्हें, उसने एक नफ्स से पैदा किया और उससे उसका जोड़ा बनाया और फिर उससे उसने बहुत से आदमी और बहुत सी औरतों को फैलाया। और अल्लाह से डरो जो कि अरहाम के बारे में सवाल किया जाएगा। अरहाम कहते हैं रिलेशंस को, क्योंकि ये शादी के जिक्र के साथ ही अरहाम का क्यों लफ्ज आया है, ये सोचने की बात है हमें। एंड वी हैव टू पॉन्डर अपॉन दिस, you know, because of the marriage many relatives, many relations comes into existence, you know, because of the marriage we come to a new family, then in-laws are there, then the father and mothers are there, siblings are there, then their relatives are there. So in the terms of closeness of the relation, we have to keep in mind that we have to pay them due regards and their due obligations. One new fashion has come now among the girls that they don't want to live with their in-laws. Suppose if you don't want to live with your in-laws, and it is your right that you can go with your husband in a separate house. And the people normally they give the example of Arabs, okay, that in Arab first they have to arrange the house and then only they have to get a wife in the house. That is fair enough, that is okay, but you know, there is something called afzal. Afzal means the best thing, ahsan thing. What is the best thing as per Islam? If you are going separately with your husband in a new house, that's fair enough, but we have to ensure that somebody is there to take care of the old people, old parents. Somebody is there to take the responsibility of the old couple. And if we ourselves are taking care, then naturally Allah is going to reward us. There is something called that we are going to keep our arham, we are going to tie our relations. So not only with our parents, but with our siblings, with our aunties, with our uncles, with our cousins, with all other people. It is said in Islam that we have to keep good relationship with them. In my family, there was a girl who was not ready at all to cook for the mother-in-law. And she was very adamant. She said, I will only cook for my husband because my responsibility is only to cook for my husband, not for my mother-in-law. Father-in-law was not there. He already passed away. So I was so surprised that how we can be so wicked that an old lady, Prophet Muhammad SAW used to go personally to the houses of the old people, and he used to serve them. Not only Prophet Muhammad SAW, but after Prophet Muhammad SAW, the example of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar Raziyallahu anhu, all these examples are with us, that they used to go to the people of old, to the old people, and they used to serve them with their own hands. They used to clean their house, they used to cook for them, they used to bring stuff for them from the market. So how can we forget these type of examples when they can do for the old people of just unknown old people? They were not their relatives. And here the mother of my husband, if I love my husband, it is said that if you love me, love my dog. If you love your husband, then you love the mother of your husband. Naturally it is the demand of the love, that if I love my husband, then naturally I have to love my husband's relatives as well. And then if we are doing something extra for them, then Allah is going to reward us. And if we are not going to do something extra for them, naturally nobody is going to ask us, nobody is going to force us. But always we have to keep in mind that this world is a temporary world, and we all are preparing for akhirah. So that akhirah we have to keep in mind, that there we are going to get good rewards in akhirah. Now we are coming to the end of our presentation. You know, when in the family marital dispute happen, and when there is no compatibility among the wife and the husband, there is no mental peace in the house, when there is like always some fights going on, some conflicts going on, then naturally it affects the body and physical fitness of the person, husband and wife both, and it affects the entire family. It affects the children as well, the children's upbringing, the children's health, the children's growth, the children's studies, the children's development, the children's all-round development, their emotional and their social and their spiritual development, along with the physical development. So after marriage, we have to keep in mind that as far as it's possible for us, we should always go for a healthy relationship, for compromising. Like at some places we have to compromise. Can't we compromise at our workplace? If at our workplace we live with different types of people, sometimes our bosses are of different mindsets. Some bosses are very short tempered, some bosses are very arrogant, some bosses are very bossy, some bosses are very fast in doing the task. They ask the things very fast. So when we know there, since we are working over there, we earn money over there, so we are ready to compromise or to adjust ourselves with them. So in the same way, similarly, we have to know how we have to manage our home affairs, how we have to manage our spouse in the house. And the basis of this relationship is on trust and on love, Muadda and Rahma. Muadda and Rahma, yani we have to, our basis of our relationship is on love. And in love, it is said that love is blind. In love, we are ready to do lots of sacrifices. We are ready to do lots of compromises. If those type of compromises and sacrifices we are doing, then naturally the relationship is going to be everlasting. Then we are going to live very happily. But if all the time we are talking about our rights, that I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, after 20 years of marriage or 10 years of marriage, I have seen the people saying, मुझे क्या मिला शादी करके, मुझे क्या मिला, पूरी जिंदगी पका पका के खिलाती रही, whole life I have spent in the kitchen, whole life I was serving them, whole life I was doing this, that, but I have not got anything out in my marriage. So my question is that what exactly you wanted from your marriage? First of all, we have to be very clear in our mind. From your marriage, what exactly you wanted? You wanted that after marriage, you are going to have children, you are going to raise your children, you are going to raise your children healthy, you are going to raise your children wealthy, you are going to raise your children normal, you are going to raise the children who are going to serve the nation, you are going to raise the children who are successful in dunya and akhirah both, and you have done this, then your life is successful. Then what else you need for yourself, and for what you are grumbling and for what you are complaining that you didn't get anything out of your marriage? This complaining habit we have to stop. We have to be very clear that what exactly we need from our marriage, what Allah has commanded, that what we are going to get out of marriage. So that we have to be very clear. Otherwise, only grumbling, only talking, only complaining is going to make our life hell. Believe me, my dear sisters, that Islam is a religion that provides us full solutions for everything. And Islam clearly says that the worst thing on this earth is talaq, means divorce. So we have to avoid it till the end. And it has to be from both the sides. It has to be from the boys and the girls, from both the sides, that we have to avoid it till the end. Secondly, when we are giving birth to the children, then naturally our priority is not we, not me as a girl, not me as a woman. Now my priority is now my children. So what best we can do for our children? If my fighting with my husband is going to harm the children, then naturally I have to reduce it. If my bad mental status is going to harm my children, then naturally I am going to keep my mental status good. I have to try for this. I have to do the activities for this. I have to do exercises for this, so that I can be mentally strong, I can be physically strong, I can be socially strong, I can be spiritually strong. Then only I can raise strong children. Then only I can raise successful children. So my dear sisters, after marriage, our priority has to be the children, because we are the custodian of those children. Kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi. Each one of us are guardian, and each one of us are going to be asked about the children or about the people who are under us. So we are going to be asked about those children whom we have given birth to this earth. So if we keep that in mind, then naturally all other things are going to be secondary for us. Be mentally strong, then all the challenges are very, very shallow. No challenge has depth in it. If we are mentally strong, if our women are mentally strong, they can overcome any challenges. I received lots of calls from the sisters, and they are complaining about their husband's behavior. They complain about their in-laws' behavior. They complain about, mostly they complain about the affairs of their husbands here and there. So my dear sisters, this is the society where it is considered that if husbands are doing something like this, it is just normal. But if a woman is doing like this, that is a bigger heinous crime. That mentality we have to change. But how we can change? We can change like being the mother of a boy. Then we have to consider it. If our sons are doing like this, then we have to tell them that it is haram. It is equally heinous for the boys also, as far as the girls also. Then in some cases, I have seen the conflict is because of their sexual relationship. Because, I have given you the example of the story where the mother wanted to send the boy to Dubai. So I have seen, this is one story, but I have seen there are many other cases where the girls and boys both are not physically satisfied with their partners, and that is the major reason why this conflicts happens. So in that case also, what we have to do is we have to take proper care. We have to take the help from the doctors. We have to take the help from the experts, because we cannot neglect this aspect. We have to consider this aspect, and then only we can go ahead. So if we are not physically satisfied, if we are not physically healthy, then naturally our emotional health is going to suffer. And then overall well-being of a girl or of the family is at stake. So that is the reason why we have to talk. In our families, this is not the habit that we should talk to each other. We should discuss to each other. Our sahabiyat and our sahaba, they used to talk to each other very frankly, because in Islam, there is no haya. If we are talking uh, for some good reason, if we are talking to get some good knowledge, if we are talking to resolve some issues, even these type of sensitive issues, then Islam encourages us that yes, we have to talk about this, and then we have to discuss with husband and wives, and they have to uh, keep the things very transparent and clear. And if there is any help required, if any physical doctor help required, then we have to take. If any psychiatric help is required, then also we have to go, or if any other help is required, then also we have to go for that help. Now I'm not going to talk about much about bidah and mistakes what we do during the marriage, because this all, everything whatever nowadays we are doing is all bidah. Whatever we are doing is not at all approved by Islam. This Sehra, Haldi, Mehdi, Maja, Barat, then Milad. Some people, they do Milad. And naturally, in the marriage, there is no concept of Milad. Then whatever Sangeet, then Runumai, then Salami, then Juta Chorai, then Dudh Pilai, then what all they have. Then Sachak or Imam Zamin and all these type of whatever you talk about what is happening in our marriages, except Ijab, Qabul, Meher and Walima. Only these are the rituals to be done during our Nikah. That is recommended by Islam. Ijab or Qabul means like the girl has to be asked for the permission that whether you are ready to be in the marriage of such person. We have to call the name of the person, and then the boy has to accept it. This is called ijabo kabul. The girl has to be taken the permission, and the boy has to say, yes, I accept. And then meher means that there has to be some amount where it has to be fixed, that okay, for this particular amount you are going to be in the marriage of this gentleman. And then walima, like after this ijabo kabul, then a walima has to be there. This is also a mandatory part of the marriage, because Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he himself did walima. Like the boy has to invite the people, invite the relatives to make the announcement that yes, now ijabo kabul has taken place. This boy is in the marriage of this girl in the marriage of this boy. And then that announcement has to be done in the society, in the locality, among the relatives, For that reason, we have to conduct walima, and then in walima, everybody should come to know now this boy and girl both are together, so that the society should not have any sort of objection of for both of them being together and living together. So it will be in the knowledge of everyone, because announcement is also a part of marriage as per Islam. So this announcement we have to do through walima. We have to conduct the walima, no barat concept, and no feasting and no show off. All these are not at all recommended by Islam. So my dear sisters, now let's make our nikah very, very simple, and let's focus on the purpose of nikah, because purpose is more important than the rituals. Purpose is more important than the physical appearance of anything. Why we are doing this? Why nikah is mandatory? Why Islam has recommended everyone to go for the nikah for this relationship? For this, I request you all that let us pledge today that we, like those who are going for marriage now, naturally they are Generation Z, because the generation which we belong to, Generation X, that is already into marriage, that already we have done the marriage. Now the next generation, Generation Z. So we, the Generation Z, take pledge that we will avoid all expenses of marriage and follow simple nikah. No dowry, no venue, no theme wedding, no expensive wedding dresses, no barat, no baja, and no show off. This is the pledge today that every girl has to take, every boy has to take, those who are present here. And let's this workshop not only be a workshop, but let's this be a revolution. Let's be inqalab. Like we all have to highlight this simple nikah. We have to highlight this on all the social media, in all our relatives, among all our contacts, that we have to follow this. And why I am saying this with lots of authority, because in the beginning itself I announced that I am the right person, because I claim, not only claim, this is the fact that my nikah was the simple nikah, and I want that everybody should do that. I know the example of such nikah also where even the expense was zero. In my nikah, expense was 4,000, but I have seen certain nikah where the expense was zero. The girl was simply sitting in the house, and father came and said, okay, the boy is outside and we are going to have nikah of this daughter with that boy. And then Qazi was called and the nikah was done. So these type of examples are also there. We have to highlight these examples, and then we have to pray for our ummah that all the marriages should be a blessed marriage, so that the wife and husband can raise the blessed children, the children, those who are going to be the pride for the nation, the pride for our society, and those who are going to be the pride for our ummah. And they are going to be successful not only in this world, but in the world to come. This is my prayer today. And thank you very much for listening me. Now there is a time for question answers. If you have any questions, you can ask, or if you want to contact me, you can contact me on this email ID. My email ID is given and I'm sharing with you all. So thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Wa akhiru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.